Welcome to my tutorial on the hardest mode for the new God of War 2018. And yeah, here you're going to be dealing with some Dark Elves. I believe this is the first encounter with them, if I remember right. And they're not, they're definitely a lot harder than the enemies we faced before. They're very evasive and quick. So they can pull a lot of bullshit. They can even blind you with darkness temporarily. So they have a lot of tricks, and they come in swarms. But I found out, as usual, you can stay back a lot of times and thin them out with axe throws, and when they get close, get some distance again and just repeat that tactic. And just deal with them up close, only when you need to. At least for some of these segments, there's going to be times when you may have to fight them up close a little bit more, but if you don't have to do it, you might as well not do it. Try to make things easier, and I try to find effective methods just for my own playing through, because when I play these games, this is just what I do when I'm trying to beat a game. I just try to find what's most effective, and so I guess it's worth documenting because other people may find it useful. But yeah, these next few videos aren't going to be anything too flashy. Some of the other parts, were required a lot better and precise playing because I didn't have, really any good exploits. But for this encounter, yeah, this is a simple encounter. So it can be tough, though, if you try to get in with all those enemies and fight them up close, while they're all on you. They can kill you very quickly, so it can be difficult. But you really don't have to do that unless you want to make things harder on yourself. There's really no need. There's also a great, I believe it was a talisman that I got a little bit later. I'd say keep an eye out for it. I think I got it at the shop. I bought it from one of the blacksmiths. I think they all sell the same shit, but it's really good. Instead of, there's one that gives health back. It gives you a burst of health back. Well, I've been using that for a while, and that's pretty good. But there's one that gives you a burst of rage, and it actually also increases your overall strength and attack power. But what's great about that is that if you get your rage up all the way, you can get some health back anyway. You'll end up getting more health back than you would from the health burst. So I'd rather invest in the rage. So it gives you a burst of rage back, a small amount, but it's enough to get you to full rage when you're almost there. So it can help. And you can also do something really, really good with it where you can... because you don't need to worry about getting all your life back, because if you commit suicide at any checkpoint, you'll respawn with full life, so that's not a problem. But as far as having a full rage bar, you don't get that at checkpoints. So what you can do with it is just use it to get a burst of rage, and then just wait for it to fill up again before the next encounter. Just, you could wait around if you wanted to and get a full rage bar for the next checkpoint. Start off the fight with a full rage bar, and that's pretty fucking useful, so... that's one way you can exploit it. I haven't done that yet because, I didn't really feel that I needed to do that. But while you're exploring, just use it periodically to get your rage bar up, and eventually you'll fill it up. So that's one great use of it. And as I said, it's also just great in combat because once you get that rage activated anyway, you're going to get health back by that point. So I'd rather wait a little bit longer to get health back. But you can switch them out based on the encounters, if you're not feeling that it's useful. But I mean, I'm liking it a lot so far. I definitely like it better than the health one overall. So I recommend that. Yeah, and I haven't said much about this encounter because this is the same tactic that I used in the previous. Just keep your distance and throw your axe. You have a huge area here to keep your distance, so you don't need to get close to these enemies. I think there's quite a bit of them here, but it's still the same strategy. I did end up wasting a resurrection stone, but it wasn't a big deal because... if you want to, you can just go back on the boat and go back to that shop that you just came from. So that's what I ended up doing. It's a little bit of a waste of time, but you really don't want to fuck around on this difficulty. So you should always try to have at least one resurrection stone. You know, that's all you can carry, but you should at least try to have it on you when you go into the next encounters if you can. Because there's times when you can't go back to the blacksmith. So, you know, sometimes you're forced to do them without those stones. But if you can have a resurrection stone, it's worth it. Because it can save your ass in a hard encounter. But yeah, I think more enemies come out after you turn the wheel again. I think that's why I'm showing this this segment. Yeah, so you get another wave of enemies. I don't think there's a checkpoint between those. But, you know, it's easy enough if you're patient and just keep your distance. You can also play more aggressively, of course, and you know, try to fight them all at once, but it's going to be a lot harder. That's why I ended up having to use my resurrection stone, because I got aggressive. But yeah, and you can also knock them into the pits. So, you know, if you're able to if you're effective with that, you can get rid of them fast. But they're a lot harder to knock into the pits than the enemies we faced before, because they fly around and they escape easily. So, and some of them don't seem to get knocked back when you use your R2 strike. So it can be difficult to do. But if you throw an axe in their head, it freezes them. Usually, I think it has to be in the head. I'm not sure. But then you can kick them back into the pit once they're frozen. So, you know, you can do that trick. So, yeah, I use a resurrection stone here. But like I said, I just go back and get another one. So that's not really a problem. I just wasted, you know, a minute or two of my time. That's all. The next video is going to show some exploring and picking up another apple to extend my health bar. So you may want to see where those are at. It's just around the shore. If you explore around the shoreline before going to the main objective, you'll see the areas. But I'll show it all in the next video, so you don't miss any items with that, because it's, you know, it is useful to get all that shit. Stay tuned.